The labyrinth swallowed all. Innocents were stranded, sinners drowned in the depths, the damned vanished there. The great power was lost to man, and Mother Earth turned her back to the New World. Only the cursed king on his throne in the abyss remembers that golden age. Greetings everybody, I'm Base6286, and hopefully the sound isn't too screwed up coming through there. And this is Etrian Odyssey. This is a little bit about this game. It's for the Nintendo DS, of course. It came out 2007. It's kind of hard to find now. It's become a bit of a rarity. In fact, it's very hard to find now, which is kind of the case with a lot of Atlas games because they don't like to produce a lot of copies of them, I suppose. But anyways, before we get started, we want to go into the options here and just change some things around. First of all, I want to delete all of the data here because you can only have one file in this game, so I want to make sure it's all cleared out so that we can start nice and fresh. Alright, and let's change the message speed here to, no, wait, we'll do that. That should be good. I think everything else is on a good setting, so let's exit. Password and all that, we'll get into that much later. But anyways, we got plenty to do, so let's get started here with a new game. One day, in the small, isolated town of Etria, an underground forest was discovered. The Radha, governors of Etria, issued a proclamation throughout the continent. Any able-bodied adventurer was invited to investigate the forest and explore its depths. But no matter how many came to investigate the dungeon, none gained the renown they sought. As more adventurers tried and failed to conquer it, it came to be known by one new name, the Yggdrasil Labyrinth. You are the latest adventurer to journey to Etria in response to the Radha's proclamation. You have but one goal, explore the forest to win fame and fortune. Etria is at hand. Alright, sounds pretty exciting. So, this is basically all of the introduction of this game that you're going to get. This is a very minimal storyline kind of game. There is a story that goes on through it. You really don't get hardly any of it until the very end, though. And even then, it's just kind of an underlying thing that goes on for the main game. The story is just kind of there to have a little bit of meat to it, but the main point of this game is not the story. It's the exploration, really. But here's the town, the main town of Etria, and as you can see, we don't actually have a character to control and walk around. Everything is run by a menu system here, at least in the town. And looks like we only have one place to go, which is the Explorers Guild, so let's head in there and get things started. Hail, noble travelers! Oh, look at this guy. Haven't seen you before. I take it you come to check out the Yggdrasil Labyrinth? Then welcome, friend. Not many guilds lately are admitting new adventurers. Those short-sighted losers care too much about trifles to do any real investigation. If you've got the guts, you should make a guild entirely for newcomers. There are loads of guys just sitting on their thumbs who'd join any guild that'd take them. How about it, gonna make a guild? Heck yeah. Great, then let's get started. Write what you want to call your guild in this ledger. Someday the world will know this name, so think carefully before choosing it. Alright, and just an explanation of how I'm going to do this game. Right now you can only see this top screen, but of course it's a DS game, so there are two screens. If there's anything I want to show on the bottom screen, I'll just kind of shift over like so. And as you can see with a little editing magic, we're on the bottom screen here, and we can name our guild. So I'm going to name it a standard name. This is what I named my guild the first time when I first played this game, and I've just kind of used it ever since. So in honor of tradition, we're going to call our guild Dragoon, because Dragoons are awesome. Dragoon, huh? Not a bad name. Now that you've got a guild, you'll need adventurers to fill it. Of course, you can go into the labyrinth yourself. If you've got the stones, then register your own name as a member. More adventurers means more options open to you, and less of a chance of dying down there. Think about it for a while, and make sure you register a variety of classes into your guild. Okay, we've got a couple options here. We can talk to them again if we want to, just to kind of get a little bit of side information or whatever. It's not really, they don't usually give too much important information out, but right now we can't do anything else except to register, really, so let's make a character here. And as he mentioned, you can register yourself, meaning like if you want to have yourself in the game or whatever, or role play a little bit, you can do that. And of course we're going to do that. So the first character we're going to make here is myself, Base. So let's do that. Alright, and now we have a list of classes we can choose from, as you can see. Right now, all we have open to us are these top ones. The bottom two, Ronin and Hexer, you'll be able to unlock later in the game, but it's not for a good while that we're going to get into those, so I'm not going to worry about them right now. As for the other classes, they give a nice little description of them on the right there. Basically, Landsknecht is your basic melee fighter. Just kind of, yeah, not really much to them. They do a lot of physical damage, that's their thing. Survivalists, they're actually very good attackers, although they don't really mention it in here. They're very good attackers, and they also have a lot of extra fancy skills that you can use within the labyrinth that we'll be exploring. Protectors are your meat shields, defensive units. They pretty much have almost all the defensive abilities. Dark Hunters are, they look like dominatrixes. They're a very odd class to be in here, but they're kind of cool. They have binding abilities, which we'll get into once we get into the game, as well as some other status stuff that they can do. Medics, healers, self-explanatory. Alchemist is your mage, basically. And for the Troubadour is also, you could call them a bard. They're kind of like the party supporter. You can use them to strengthen your party and all that kind of stuff. So, first things first, I'm going to be a protector of the group, because we're going to need a protector. And you can see we have a couple portraits we can pick. These don't make any kind of difference in stats or abilities or anything like that. It's just for a little spice to the game. You always have male, female, male, female. That's how they all go, in case you're confused. Because some of the portraits are a little androgynous. So I'm going to pick this guy because sideburns. I don't have anything else to say to that. And of course we want to register another adventurer. And I'm going to be using, for names, other than myself, I'm going to be using other people I know on YouTube, because it's funner that way, more fun that way, I guess. So the next person we're going to pick here is going to be Jaichi. How can we leave Jaichi out of this? And that's not Jaichi, what the heck? Jaxi? There we go, we want CH. Alright, that's a little better. Okay, now for actual team makeup, like who you want to pick or who you don't want to pick. Honestly, all of these classes are very useful and can be very useful, depending on how you use them, basically. I mean, you can't just mix and match anything and have it work. You kind of have to strategize a little bit, but every class has a strong point to it, and none of them are utterly useless. If this is your first time and you're really not sure what to pick, I'd go for a Landsknecht and a Protector in the front row. For your team, or just, I mean, front row doesn't really matter right now, but pick a Landsknecht, Protector, Medic, Troubadour, and Survivalist. Those 5 characters, it makes a very balanced team, it's very usable, and it'll get you throughout the entire game rather nicely. I'm going to pick a slight variation on that. I'm going to switch out the Landsknecht for an Alchemist, just to spice things up a little bit, and I'm also interested in one of the Alchemist's abilities for later in the game that'll help us out more than the Landsknecht will. So anyways, we're picking Jaichi's character here, and I think I'm going to make him a Survivalist. And let's see, this is a male character, so let's go with this one, because he has long hair. That fits Jaichi rather well, I think. Alright, another adventurer. Let's see, who do we want to do next? Let's do Nikki next, otherwise known as Chocolate Milk, for you guys who don't know. She has her name on her channel, so I'm assuming it's not going to be much of a problem. And besides, Chocolate Milk just seems like a weird name for a character anyways. We're going to make her an alchemist, I think. And let's see, I think she mentioned something about liking characters with glasses, so maybe we'll pick this one. On a side note, Edward Elric. That's all I'm going to say for that. Oh well. Alright, so now we have those 3 characters. What do we have left? We have Medic and a Troubadour. So let's do Chris next. Also known as Mr. Elite Penguin. Again, he has his name on his profile, so I think Chris works better than Penguin or something like that. Who do we want to make him? I don't think he'd work well. He just didn't seem like a Medic kind of character to me, so I guess Troubadour for him. Oh yeah, definitely the sprite. That just looks like him for some reason. He seems the type that would be kind of oblivious on the battlefield, running around while we're all dying. Anyways, last but not least, we have Lomani 57. We'll just use Lomani. That should be fine. And looks like the only character left that we have to pick is a medic. So let's see. Decisions. We'll give him this sprite. Sorry, Nikki, by the way. It looks like you're going to be the only girl in our guild here. Oh, well. We'll be making some other side characters for things, so maybe I'll make some more girls there. But anyways, we have our party, but before we leave, we want to make sure we go into formation and actually put everybody in the actual party. So let's see. We're going to put me in front, and we don't really have any other real good frontline characters right now, but survivalists can work rather well in the front if they need to be there. Because, as you can see, you can only put 3 characters in one specific row. And even though there's 6 slots, you can only carry 5 people in your party at once. So, there you go. That's looking pretty nice. So, let's head on out of here. That's everything. You ready to get started? I hope you can shake things up in this town and clear out some of the deadwood. I'm looking forward to the day the Dragoon Guild becomes known the world over. Alright. At least he has some confidence in us. How are we doing on time? Oh, geez. We should probably get finished up here. One last thing I want to cover in this episode before we end off here is, before we head into the labyrinth, we're going to need to buy some equipment. So, let's do that. And I'm going to apologize right now because I'm going to butcher her accent, so sorry. Hello, need items, weapons, equipment? I'm your girl. Are you the guild I hear about with only new folk? Explorers like you are my best customers. I look forward to doing business with you. Alright, and stuff we want to buy. We want to get some weapons and armor for our characters here. They start out with some basic stuff, knives and tweeds, I believe, but it's terrible. You're definitely going to want to buy some better equipment. So, that being said, let's buy a sword for myself here. And let's buy a couple bows for Chris and Jaichi. And I think that'll be good for weapons for now. As you can see, next to the little wood bow, and it has a bow icon, you see an L and S and a bunch of letters that shows what classes are able to equip it. So as you can see, the wood bow here, only survivalists and troubadours can equip the bow. So just that kind of helps out for knowing what armor can go to who. And as far as, or weapons rather, but as far as armor goes, we're only going to buy a targe for myself, which is a shield, and we're going to want leaf boots for everyone. These are very helpful to have in the beginning of the game because not only do they boost defense, but they also boost your agility, or agility, whatever. So we're pretty much good on equipment for now, but I think we're not going to be able to make it into the labyrinth in this episode. So thanks you guys for watching, and I know this is going to be a bit of a slow start, but that's kind of how these things work, especially in RPG games like this. So again, thanks for watching, and join me next time when hopefully we'll get some more action. See you guys then.